He turned around and said bad words to Marshawn Lattimore. It would seem quite clear that Brady started that fight.
What is Bruce Arians doing, by the way?
If you want to, I don't know.
What is he there?
Oh, and Brady ain't throw one push, one punch, nothing. Everybody else getting thrown out. Don't start talking.
You want avocado ice cream to be out there throwing hands? Ain't no chance that dude's gonna throw hands.
You ain't gonna throw hands. His job
is to stir it up and get everybody else involved, not get in there and fight.
He's got a guy for that. That's basically where we are. In hockey, they usually have someone who's designated to come out there and fight instead of Wayne Gretzky fighting. That guy's not supposed to be your best receiver. So my question, Jeff Saturday, is: did he deserve it? Do you believe the NFL made the right decision suspending Mike Evans for one game?
They did. I hate it because I don't think players should be suspended. But in this case, he's on the sideline, runs all the way in, starts this whole thing. Physically, it all goes to the ground. They're going to have to do it. I wish it would have just been a fine, but I have no issue with them suspending him.
All right, so they will miss him this weekend because we know they're already down all of these pass catchers, and they're going up in a very interesting game that could mean a lot as the season goes on against Green Bay. Now, does he have any help coming? Sort of. I have sneaky big news. Someone tell me how big a deal you think this is. The Buccaneers this morning have signed Cole Beasley to their practice squad.
How big? 5'9"? That's about how big that news is.
May I posit to you, Dominique,
nothing wrong with 5'9".
that Cole Beasley looks almost exactly like every player Tom Brady.
What do you mean, Greeny? What are you saying?
I mean, little slot possession receiver.
Oh, yeah.
See Wes Welker. See Julian Edelman. You're telling me he can't make Cole Beasley that?
Oh, yeah. Cole Beasley about to go to the Pro Bowl. He's going to get busy in the slot. Cole Beasley is a tough guy to guard in the slot. I think this does help Tom Brady a lot, and he needs the help, honestly, because he ain't been good so far this year. Brady. I know y'all all going to act like he can't never get bad. The man quit for part of the season. Then he came back. He missed 11 days. He's 45 years old. I know Tom Brady is good, but let's point out what is actually happening right now. That defense is dominating, and Tom Brady's making one or two plays here or there. He's not going to be leading the league in passing yards like he did last year. They're still good enough to win. But let's be honest about how Tom Brady is playing right now. I know you don't want to admit it because he's like the centerpiece of religion.
This Tom Brady take is as useless as Greeny's toolbox. that means of no use in case you don't pick that one up. Here's the problem for me. You're going to go jump on Tom Brady. Let me give you a list, right? Evans gets thrown out. We know that. Godwin ain't there. Julio Jones isn't there. No Donovan Smith, who's their starting left tackle. Their backup Josh Wells gets hurt, so now they're on their third left tackle. They have a brand new internal offensive line guard, center guard. They're trying to figure this part out. Gronk. And they still beat.
No Gronk.
They still, no Gronk. Yeah. But he's not, maybe, hopefully for RG3. But when you look at this, they still beat their nemesis in New Orleans. And so you're saying that Tom Brady, and when he had to have the throws, he made the plays that they win the game. So you can say whatever when you are that decimated with injury, I don't think there are other quarterbacks in the game that will carry their team. And I'm not slighting their defense. Their defense has played lights out. This is New England-esque early Tom Brady. And here's the thing. He knows how to win this way. As frustrated as he is, as much as he hates electronics going to slam him around, this dude is still an absolute baller that gives them a chance to win the Super Bowl. And to say it's not that, it's craziness. Real. Rocket. I mean, look at that.
Poor young corners out there. He was hurt young corners out there.
He almost fell down. He literally almost fell down. And listen, just start jogging behind it. Ain't no reason to try to sprint. Just lay off, bro.
Make it look good. Okay, and then third quarter, and then Tannehill started Tannehilling. We got problems there.
That was easy to catch. We don't drop those ones, Robert.
That's Jordan Poyer with the interception. Bills take over. And then why throw it to anyone else when you have Stephon Diggs?
Oh, man. Nice play action pass. And the DB's inside leverage. He's like, I still got beat.
You can't get him that close. He was in his jeans right there.
Stephon Diggs is always open. Just keep throwing it to him, man.
34-7. And then just for good measure, the Bills defense says, well, we haven't tied this game. And so they do it. Matt Milano with a pick six. So the Bills defense scores as many points as the Titans do last night. 41-7 is the statement. And Josh Allen continues to put on a show, including the playoffs. Allen's 4 consecutive games now with 4 total touchdowns.
Boy.
Only 4 players in league history have ever done that. Look at the names on this list. I mean, it is like the Mount Rushmore of all-time quarterbacks. So we just talked a little bit about the continued improvement of Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
The template is what we saw last night, right?
No doubt about it. The template starts with bringing in a true number 1 wide receiver for your young guys.
Yeah.
I did the research. When Stephon Diggs came over to play with Josh Allen in Buffalo, the results are unbelievable.
That's right.
In year 1, he increased Josh Allen's completion percentage by 10.4% from 58 to 69. He threw 17 more touchdowns and 1,455 more yards. That is the difference. Josh Allen's been a completely different quarterback since Stephon Diggs stepped foot in Buffalo, and you're seeing the same thing with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. And I'm just like, man, this is incredible. Josh Allen already has all the talent in the world, but when you give him that true number 1, man, he's skyrocketing.
I don't have any questions, Dan, about the Bills. That's my problem, right? What am I supposed to ask you? Are they as good as we think they are? Can anyone play with them?
Look, I mean, they lost a bunch of guys on defense to injury throughout the game last night, so we'll monitor that, obviously, but it didn't affect them last night. They can roll guys in on defense. They're so deep at every single position. It's incredible to watch. And, look, I feel like last night, by the time they played, I feel like it had been like a half a year since the Bills had played, right? Because they played Thursday night, and then everybody else has played twice since. But they remind you right away. They don't have Gabe Davis, who's one of their best players on offense. It doesn't matter. They're on a mission. I know from the last couple of years being around that team a little bit, they see a window. They believe that they are as good as anybody in the league. They are frustrated that 2 years in a row they couldn't get past Kansas City in the playoffs. They believe they're good enough to do it, and they know this is their time. That's how they're going to operate. They want to do this to every team they play this year. And,
I mean, Allen's out in the middle of the third quarter, man. Let's do it every week.
Third quarter.
That's how you keep him safe.
Then he won't
That's
get
how
hit.
you keep him safe, Brady.
Both backup quarterbacks in the game in the third quarter. That's domination.
Allen still gets hit too much, but that's a different conversation for another day. Listen, they opened the season, Buffalo did, on the road against the defending Super Bowl champs. And then they get the defending 1 seed in the AFC. And they win those 2 games 72-17. Jeff, right now, I'm asking you.
I can tell you, best team in the NFL.
Well, that seems to be, that's my point. It's not even a question. So here's the question. That palatial estate you have there in suburban Georgia.
I'm in it.
Bills or the field to win the AFC?
Bills. Listen, I'm telling you, when you look, Sean McDermott has this team believing not only are they they're the toughest team and toughest minded team in the NFL. They gave one away to the Chiefs last year, and they believe that wholeheartedly. And I believe it. Like, you can't let that happen, right? You have the best defense in the league, and you give that up to the Chiefs late to lose that ball game. They are still upset with that, and they have added to this football team. And Von Miller coming over to that defense, not only can he close drives, he closes games. And when you have a defensive end that brings that type of confidence to an already good defense, it just takes you to another level.
I don't want to be the parade rainer, but they aren't perfect. The weak spots on their team is the corners. They don't have great corners, and Trey's not healthy. And also, they don't run the ball all that well. Mr. Run the ball. They struggled last night on first down. They didn't have first down.
That's because they listened to Greeny and didn't run Allen. They were when they get Allen going, baby. They big dog. They got little dog on the porch. They the big dog on the porch.
And look at this. They only won 41-7.
Exactly. They don't got to run it if they don't need to run it.
It works out fine. This is I'm hoping to find an ally in all of this, right? As a quarterback who, once got hit real hard while running with the football.
Let's just call it what it is.
So I'm just saying, I almost broke you in half. So the question is, does Josh Allen, does he need to be mindful of the fact that a Super Bowl rests completely upon his ability to remain healthy until the middle of February?
I can see the look in your eyes right now, Greeny. You're begging me for this, but I can't give you what you want.
That's what I'm talking about.
Josh Allen's ability is his availability, of course, but it's just the way that he plays the game.
That's right.
He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He understands that. He's a big boy. He's a country-fed boy. He can take those hits. That's just the way that he plays the game. But I will say this. Jeff, you talked about Von Miller. I 100% believe Von Miller is the Tom Brady of defensive ends. This guy, he's a Super Bowl whisperer. He brings a certain tenacity to that defense.
Yeah.
He is the guy that can finish.
Yeah.
And he makes everybody else around him play better. And I just look at Von Miller, and I think everyone on that team says, because Von's here, we can win the big one.
Yeah.
So I look at him and I'm like, man, this guy, not only, I played against Von Miller in college. The guy's unbelievable. He's just, everywhere he goes, he just elevates the level of the defense. And I think he deserves that type of praise.
I mean, if we're handing out Tom Brady's, then I think that we need to go back to Stephon Diggs because he's the Tom Brady of receivers.
No doubt.
When he got there, as you pointed out earlier, that Josh Allen was sitting in the locker room. When he saw Stephon Diggs walk in, he started singing, "My whole life has changed since you walked in." And it's been different ever since. That's what you need. A player like that on your team makes everything easier for everyone around them.
So, to my resident skeptic, Mr. Graziano.
That's you.
That's you.
Did we see
Trombone.
this year's Super Bowl teams on display last night on the ESPN family of networks?
Get him!
Come on, Graz. The Bills and the Eagles, is that the Super Bowl this year?
I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl. I still have faith that the Packers and the Bucs are going to be better teams by the end of the year than they look right now. So I can't say the Eagles look great. Like, they play like this all year, sure. But man, there's a long way to go.
I bring my umbrella anytime
Come
I'm around
on,
here.
man.
My parade's going to stay dry whether
You're
you
the
like
one
it or
telling
not.
me Buffalo's got holes. Tre'Davious White is coming back.
Parade
number
right.
one.
We were
Number
having a good
two,
time.
It's
We're
2022.
yelling.
We
We're
don't have
screaming.
on the ball.
We're dancing
20
and
minutes
partying.
into the show, he's ruining the
Already
party.
ruined
Hey,
it.
man, pack it up. Thanks for doing it. Let's roll.
Is this what you want?
That's what I want. Why, Eagles?
And so let it be said that at 19 minutes and 44 seconds into the show, I lost complete control. All right, as we get rolling, this might be blasphemous, but Tom Brady has looked human so far this